So, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to avoid a summer slump. And this is really important because if you've been in dental for any amount of time, you know that things ebb and flow. And it gets really tricky. Dental's tough because a lot of time the money that you're collecting in a given month is coming from months before from things that you don't really know where it came from or out of your control, right? Collecting insurance from multiple months below. It might have been a high month or a low month 3 months ago. It might have been, you might have more patient financing. You might have more cash payers, less cash payers. It might be you got a rush of a certain kind of insurance that didn't compensate you the right way or whatever it may be, right? It's really complicated. Accounts receivable is tough, tough, tough in dental. And so in summer, it makes it really tricky because a lot of times you don't know what you need to do to boost summer. And as we all know, especially if you live in an area that snows a lot or is really cold in the winter, summer can be really tough when people let out of school and the weather starts to get really nice because who wants to go to the dentist when you could go to the lake, right? And that's fair. We understand that. So how do you actually plan for summer? I'm going to give you 6 points that will help you plan for summer. So number one, you have to be able to look back historically and see what was causing your dip. There's some offices that new patients dip in the summer in certain months. Not in all months, but in certain months. There's some offices that existing patients stop buying as much treatment because they're no showing for their appointments. That might be the issue that you're facing. Or it might be a combination of both that really causes your office to dip. Now, some people, I've talked to a lot of dentists, some dentists are just like, well, we just shut down for 3 weeks or whatever. And it's just like, that is an option, but it really hurts a business when you do that, right? That's not ideal. If you plan around your vacation and stuff, I get it, but that's not ideal. That's not what you want to be doing in business. So what do you want to do? Number one, you need to figure out what's causing the dip. You need to be able to look at your historic times in years past and see why did our production dip? Was it from new patients? Was it because marketing new patients? Was it because of patient referrals dipping? Was it because of existing patients buying less treatment? Or was it a combination of all of the above? The reason you have to solve that first is because it's going to tell you how much of a gap you need to close. Are we talking about a $50,000 production gap? Are we talking about a $100,000 production gap? And that's going to allow you to figure out the first step of solving the problem. Where is the actual gap? That's number one. Number two, now is a good time when things slow down a little bit to look at your process on your phones. Look at what is your unanswered call rate. That's number one. Number two, what is your conversion rate for marketing new patients on the phone? And then what is your average time to appointment? Look at those three metrics and get those as tight as possible. You want every call or close to every call to be answered when you're open. And then you want to be able to schedule those people, the vast majority of them, 80-90% of them, and try to get them in right away. If you can do that, then all of a sudden it starts to speed up your patient life journey cycle. And that starts to produce more production for your office immediately. And if that cycle is broken and it's extended, then that causes you to get less patients, and it takes longer to get the money in from the patients that are coming in, and the patients don't like that, you don't like that, and it doesn't work for anybody. Does that make sense? So that's really important that you check those processes. Number next is start to ask for patient referrals. A lot of offices do this really well at the beginning of their journey. They ask everybody for referrals. They say, hey, we love patients like you. We'd love to have referrals from you if you know anybody else that's amazing like you, et cetera, et cetera. But they stop doing that when they get busy. It's really good to always be doing this, but if you've gotten away from this as a company or as a team, this is something that you should get back to right now and start to really hammer home your patient referrals, okay? And just asking, and letting people know how amazing they are as a patient. So that's really important. All right, to avoid a summer slump, number 4, create an admin training day. Create an admin training day. So what you want to do is you want to go into all of your outstanding treatment and pick a number. You can pick any number you want. It can be 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever you want, right? And you want to go look at all the treatment that has not been accepted in your office. And then what you need to do is you need to send them an email and say, hey, on this day, we're going to be training some of our administrative team. And if you want to come in and get above $2,000 worth of treatment, $3,000 worth of treatment, we will give you X amount off, 20% off your treatment. What this does is it moves forward treatment that's been sitting on your books that might take years to come in. And then all of a sudden now you have moved that off of your books, so to speak, and moved it into actual production. And now you have patients accepting a boatload of treatment, and you are doing it during your admin training day. And you just pick a day in your slowest month. Whatever your slowest month is in the summer, focus on that, push all that treatment into that. You can do a week, a day, it doesn't matter, right? So we're training our administrative staff on these things. It could be the phones, front desk, whatever. That works really well. Another thing that works really well is an aligner day or an Invisalign day. If you do these, those are really, really popular. And especially around summer with kids being out of school and things like that, teens, you can push that really hot and heavy. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically just creating a day or a week where you say, hey, during this week, we're doing $1,000 off aligner cases. They're normally $6,000. We're doing them for $5,000, and we have financing. And this is a great deal. We don't do this that often. And you sell to all of your patients. You just let everybody know about it. You email about it. You text about it. And this takes your existing patient base, and again, it takes treatment and moves it into your slower month. The only thing I don't like about aligner days is the lab costs are really expensive. So I prefer an admin training day over that, because that's largely just going to help you just grow with very little lab cost and things like that. But aligner day is huge too. Just got to be mindful of the big lab cost per aligner case. The other thing you can do is start to crank up your marketing. Now, I wouldn't do that unless you already know, okay, this is why we're dipping and new patients are actually going to solve this problem. Typically, new patients solve a lot of problems, so you're kind of safe. But I would still want to know, like, how big of a gap are you trying to solve for, because you don't want to go spend $10,000 more on marketing and it maybe gives you $40,000 in production, but you needed $100,000 to close that gap. You need to really strategically understand what gap you're trying to close from a production standpoint. And the other thing that works really well about boosting your marketing over the summer, besides just not having a huge dip, is that September's coming. So you're going to have, usually most people have one bad summer month, maybe 1.5, and then the rest of the summer is good for them. And then September hit like a loaded dump truck on you, and it stinks, right? Because everybody's going back to school, schedules get messed up, schedules fall apart. You need to start marketing now more heavily, and a lot of that's going to spill over into September. So if you start to spend an extra 20, 30, or 50% on marketing, and you just do that for a couple months leading into September, that's going to really help you ramp up September. And then October is awesome, and we get right back in the groove of things in Q4. So exciting times ahead. Lots of exciting things going on in the world right now, but there's so much opportunity. There's an abundance of opportunity. Too many new patients, not enough doctors, not enough hygienists. You just have to be able to capture them and have that mindset of, I want to grow. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Drop a comment down below if you know another hack around summer to really boost production. I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day.